Ideal mesmo para o mundo atual seria fazer o ensino médio junto com o curso técnico, certo? É no Senac que o aluno tem autonomia de verdade, formação cidadã, foco na diversidade, preparação para o Enem, material didático sem taxas e muito mais. Na real, tem tudo que você precisa para se sentir preparado para a vida. Seja para entrar no mundo do trabalho ou te ajudar a decidir o que fazer na faculdade. Quer saber? Senac. Vem comigo! Acesse sp.senac.br/ensino-médio-técnico.
I knew it. Another Herdat Media production.
Happy Friday!
Hey, happy Friday.
Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
We're a little late with this recap because Chantel is in California. She just doesn't sit home, you guys. She just doesn't sit home.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, and
you're just jealous.
I know. And well, Chantel actually got notice at the airport, which is
oh my God. Okay, so her name's Elise. Hi, Elise. I told her I was gonna
Elise.
Yeah, so we were on the plane and like my loud ass probably like I was like, Val, where should I put my bag or something? Like we were literally going to our seats and she like I see someone look up and she's like, wait, I know this is weird, but do you have a podcast? I was like, yeah. It was so fun. It was so funny.
I love that. I love when people just randomly come up to us. And I don't know, like when that happened with me in Florida, it like made my life, and everyone that I was with was like, what the hell? And then even when at my kids' school, when one of the moms came up to me and she's like, I listened to your podcast. Are you Roxanne? I was like, oh my gosh. So
I think funny because especially like
realize.
Yeah, it's funny more to me, like the voice, because like I have such like a distinctive voice, you know? And it's funny that like that's how like someone recognized it also kind of.
Well, I'm sure just looking at you, even though you were like, I'm Chantel, she's probably like, girl, I know.
No, she knew.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that's so funny. How is California right now?
Beautiful and sunny, but it's 7 a.m. when we're doing this for me. So yeah, we're dedicated, especially you guys, you know, those episodes, whew, my blood is boiling.
Oh, after the Salt Lake City episode in Orange County?
Oh yeah, especially more Orange County. I really like it felt like New Jersey days for me. Like when I'm watching that reunion, like I wanted to just rip them apart, and I wish I was there to do so.
No, it really was bad. We have so much to discuss with both. By the way, Chantel, do you know who just quit? From Southern Charm. Wait, do you even watch Southern Charm?
Yeah. Remember, I caught up and stuff. Who quit?
JT.
Oh,
He quit before season 10 even aired, and he's refusing to do any of the other confessionals. So he's not doing forward. Yeah.
I mean, he was intense, like coming at, them last year. So maybe like he just wasn't getting his way.
I think that he was intense, and obviously like us viewers can be very, very critical, sometimes like too critical that it could affect someone's mental health, which is like messed up, but he really, I mean, that's what happens when you come the way that he did. So he just announced it this morning. So that was a side note. But Chantel insists, by the way, that we are going to recap Salt Lake City before we recap Orange County. So if you guys want to listen to the Orange County first, or I will put in the description the minute mark to move to go to our Orange County recap.
Yes.
So let's talk Salt Lake City, Chantel.
So did you like the episode?
Yeah, I did like it.
Okay.
I'm a little scared, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Seriously.
Yeah.
We started the episode with Meredith and Lisa arriving to a spa day. And I just want to say, like, it's so funny how all these people have these like spa days all the time. Like, do you think like that's real for their like everyday life, or they're doing it for the show?
No, absolutely not. Because anyone who joins the show, they'll always be like, I never did girls' days, or I never went on girls' trips. So it's definitely for the show, but I'm jealous. So
yeah, same.
I wish, like I had a bunch of moms that were like, let's just do this. Let's go on a spa day randomly.
Seriously. And then like when we do, you feel so guilty.
I know.
You spend like $300 on a stupid massage and you're like, hey.
I know. But I really do need one.
No, seriously, no, I really do too. We really should go.
I have so many gift cards to massage. My mother-in-law always buys them for me, and I still haven't. I don't
Oh
even
my
know.
God, I told you to give me them because like
I
if you're not
know.
gonna use them, let me use them.
It's like a hassle even booking it, especially the one that she got me. It's like this one that takes appointments like 6 months, like it's booked 6 months out. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
they're always busy.
pointless. Yeah.
Well, Heather meets them for coffee, like after, to talk about what happened at Bronwyn's house, and they thought they were going to move forward. So she's telling, Heather takes it that Bronwyn was telling her how she's a shitty person and that Bronwyn was manipulating and like on everything that happened. And it's like, Heather, no, she wasn't. Like she also said that Bronwyn doesn't have any self-awareness. And it's like, you don't have any self-awareness.
Yeah,
Bronwyn,
oh my gosh, you guys know we love to use the word self-awareness.
yes.
When Heather said that, I was like, girl, like what? You don't have any self-awareness right now.
Seriously, like you don't know what she's doing. Like you don't even know what you've done. Like, and all she was doing was just trying to call you out.
Yeah, that was watching Heather tell them what happened when that's not what happened was so scary.
Yeah, and like it's like, does she not see it, and how do they not see it, that like Bronwyn is just mad at you for what she like Bronwyn's mad because what you do too. It's like Bronwyn admitted that she did something shady, but she's mad at you because you do it too, and you don't like to own up to it.
Yeah. Wait, you guys, I am dying. We never talked about this, but the fact that Bronwyn had shit in her house when people were coming over, I'm sorry.
No, that's too much.
No, you guys, I'm so sorry. That's not okay. And that's never, ever acceptable. I am not team Heather season, but I am so sorry. Like that could never happen. I don't even come at me and be like, well, sometimes we miss. No. I know if I'm on a television show and I know producers are going to be there and I know like someone's going to see my house for the first time, I will make sure there is not crap around my house. No matter what, I would never have that happen, but I would make sure of it. Like I would get a cleaning lady that morning if it would help. Like, that was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I love Bronwyn as a new addition, but I wouldn't even be able to eat off of her food after that. I swear.
Yeah. Like that's
offer cheese and stuff. I would no here, take it back. It's fine. Thank you.
No, seriously. And those are big ass dogs. Like, no, thank you.
No, I'm so, and those like because like that, I don't know, like if you, I don't know, like potlucks, I am terrified of eating at potlucks because I just don't know where, people's, hair, and because sometimes like even my aunts will give me food and there will be hair in it. And I'm like, ew, dude. And I don't freak out though. Like I'll still eat
at least like their house is clean.
Right.
And they're clean.
I know my husband gets so disgusted. But like, I'm like, whatever, it happens. But like when you're at like a work thing and it's no. So I don't know. I was just very, very grossed out. Like, please don't come for me because I don't know. That scared me.
I mean, we don't have dogs either. So maybe like, I don't know. But no, there's no way that happens. Like we have, yeah.
Nope. Sorry. No excuses.
Yeah, seriously. Like, why are they shitting on in your house? Go outside.
And it's fine if they do. But like the fact that it's out there just is so scary.
Yeah. And apparently Lisa is also upset after she got off the phone with Bronwyn because she said that she made it seem like she's the one that created the problems. And it's like we see the phone call and it's like what it appears what Bronwyn was doing was not like that at all. And then like, I'm kind of getting so over the ladies being so sensitive because Bronwyn in that conversation was actually checking up on Lisa. She wasn't insinuating anything. She wasn't doing anything. And then like Lisa gets off that phone call and starts like making up shit in her head that Bronwyn did to her.
Yeah.
And then also they're just both all talking about what they're kind of nervous about for this like upcoming trip. Meredith is also feeling weird about the trip. She explained that Sean went on a podcast and said that Meredith is using her son as a pawn and that she didn't get an apology from Sean. Did you think Sean owed her an apology? Because we saw the flashback at the party that Sean didn't. Like there was no apology done for her.
It's a hard thing just because she did come for his marriage, and she did also put out this rumor that he was gay. I don't know. I don't think that he does need to apologize. I mean, they both like did things and I don't know. I don't believe in apology.
Yeah. And I think him opening up his door for her, like to come into was like the olive branch. And it's like, get over it. Like you deal with the wife and like, that's it.
This cast is very weird about like, you need to say sorry. And to me, that's like, it's like an ego thing. I don't know. Like, I mean, we're good now. I don't need to actually use the word and say it to you to make you feel better.
Yeah. So Brown was on FaceTime with her husband, and you guys, he seems a little scary in this sense of like, he's like, I don't want any drama this weekend, which no one does, but he's using this tone that he would be mad at her and blame her. And I just really hate that type of personality. It's almost selfish. Like for everything revolves around him because he makes the money and he can't be bothered. Did you get that vibe off of that FaceTime call or just like later on in the episode?
He just reminds me of a dad, and like it just is very scary because I understand. On one hand, I understand that's his personality and he doesn't like bullshit like that. On the other hand, you're on a reality television show and I wouldn't act like that. You know, if you and your wife signed up for this reality show and you're supporting your wife, you can't really act like that. Do you know what the show is? Like, I don't know.
And it's just like, oh yeah, he's so scary to me. And like, I just don't like being around people like that talk down in that sense. Like, I don't like it. It's like cool in your point. The world does not revolve around you only.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I hate like and I think I'm triggered because this happened to us like our whole lives, is that like the blame. It's like they place blame if something happens to us. Like if we got in a car accident, like our parents would blame us, you know, even though someone hit us. And it's like, every
time I got into a car accident, you guys, and I would call my mom, she would not even say it. Like she would literally like go off and be like, what did you do? Yeah, so true.
Yeah, and it's like he gives me that vibe and I just get so triggered. I literally like, I'm like, oh, get him off my screen. No offense. Because I like Bronwyn, but I'm like, and like she does call her husband an asshole. So like she does know it, but it's also like, I don't like him. Anyways. Lisa and John are packing for the trip, and Lisa says that John still owes her an apology. And we said last week we didn't think that he does, and it's kind of awkward to ask for that. And John tells her that he said he's going to think about it. I just don't understand what she thinks he owes her an apology for.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I'm not. It's like this like ego thing with apology. I don't get it.
Lisa's also getting in her feels about being a mom, and you can tell she's very emotional, and I can totally understand for any mom, and I'm sure you can more, that like that is probably one of the meanest things that you can say to someone who actually really cares about being a good mom. And I just felt so bad for her, you know, and I'm happy she's being vulnerable about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. They all go on a private jet to go to Palm Springs, which it is kind of awkward for all of them to be on the plane. And you could tell that like people are like on high stress and like not everyone's getting along. And the one thing I just don't love is that like the one thing that I didn't love like throughout this episode is Bronwyn kept mentioning like, I'm doing this trip, like I'm paying for this trip, like blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, we get it, you have a private jet, you're not the first housewife to have a private jet.
Yeah, I do find that stuff to be very annoying, I'm not gonna lie.
We see on the plane that Bronwyn explains her side to Lisa and Meredith, and she seems like, and she does not like that they are agreeing with Heather. And it's like, I didn't get that sense that they were agreeing with Heather. They were just saying like she's upset too. Like, I don't know. Did you think that they were taking Heather's side?
Well, I just like look at it as to how Lisa would take it, and if like roles were reversed, I could see Lisa feeling the way Bronwyn is feeling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially Lisa. Lisa definitely holds like people accountable way too like way much higher than like than they can for her. It's like it's a pattern, and I don't know how she has not seen it being on the Housewives this long. Like she really needs to like research that and go to therapy for that part in particular.
Right. I agree.
But random funny things from the episode that I just want to call out just because I don't want to talk about like every little thing, but like I thought it was really cute that Seth was trying to find a bathtub for his wife, and you know there was no bathtub. Did you see how Lisa was like, I feel like this is you. She's like, Lisa was like, the food is too fresh in Italy.
That's so mean. People don't understand that. I don't like that type of food. I can't eat
like. I think she's crazy too for saying that, but like I understand people like you, and like that's the stuff that you guys be like, okay, I need more hot pepper, I need hot sauce, and they don't do that there. They literally give it to you like with like noodles and cheese or something, and you're like, no, get this away from me.
Right. Yeah. I'm not about that. So people like, that's totally me. I don't understand how people didn't understand that, but when she said that, I was like, I get it. Like I could so relate to that.
Another funny part is like Bronwyn is like, you know, bringing this jeweler. It was kind of awkward, but bringing this jeweler to like Palm Springs, and like in the background the whole time is Angie and Sean, and like she's like trying to get the ball and like screaming, and it's like the total like juxtaposition of this like, you know, these two couples I was just dying. I was like, oh my god, I can't. But that's why we love Housewives sometimes. Like we see that like they do things, especially this jewelry thing that like we would never do or can do ever.
Agree.
Yeah, those are just like the funny bits. But then we get to something serious. So, they're laying out by the pool and Seth comes out and like tells Mira that he has to leave early and she's
Oh my
upset.
gosh, this was
Yeah.
scary.
She's upset, rightfully so. And I wouldn't want my husband leaving a couple's trip that's awkward. It's like they've been there for 4 hours and you're gonna go leave and then you guys have already had problems for this. Like, what did you feel about the situation?
Yeah, no, I was totally not okay with this at all. I would be so freaking mad. I mean, like he knew, and this is like what started all their problems back in the day. So I would just not be happy about this.
Yeah. I did watch the after show. Did you I think this was might be the first or second one for this season, but it was really good. So like she was just saying like, she just got really scared because this is what always has happened in their marriage. And she's like, we're good now though. She did mention that on the after show. She's like, we're good now. We found our rhythm again. And like, she's like, that just scared me that like, we were gonna go back to that point.
Well, and things like this, you guys, it just like makes me think the worst. Like, is he cheating? Is he telling telling a girl, like, I'm going to leave this trip. I don't want to be here. Like that stuff scares me. And that also, I would be annoyed if I was married because I would be like, a lot of people are going to think that way. And this is really annoying because you knew about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all at the pool and they keep saying someone needs to break the ice and there's weird vibes and like you can kind of sense it and stuff like that. And I hate that more than anything, especially on a trip. So like I love Angie and appreciate her. She comes down, she's like, let's get shots and she's like, I'm gonna do Vita, even though like she's not even in a good place with Lisa because she like wants to make sure that everyone's feeling comfortable. And so like that was nice. Oh, another funny thing I forgot to talk about is that and I love that she's talking about is Meredith needing hearing aids. So I wonder how many people can like relate to that.
Funny.
I know. I feel like we're going to need hearing aids at a very young age.
I know, I swear, especially with like all the stuff we put in our ear.
Yeah. But anyways, as they're getting shots and they're by the pool, Lisa calls Heather while, Bronwyn goes to the bathroom. And, at first I didn't understand like why, like they were all making a big deal, but then it's obviously like the way Bronwyn reacted right after. Did you think that was wrong and messy of Lisa to do?
Yes, I do think that was wrong. She waited till she left to go to the bathroom to do that. And I think that was messed up. And because we know Lisa, would be livid about that. And it's like, you did not need to do that. That's so unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, Bronwyn keeps saying, my intent with Heather coming over was to move forward and invite her. And Heather was just constantly looking for a problem with her.
Yeah, Bronwyn definitely gets very upset about the situation, and she just wants people to feel. She wants her feelings to be acknowledged, and she doesn't feel like she's getting that with Lisa or with this friendship. And like, but the one thing that the whole situation is that she keeps saying like, you're not there for me as friends, but Lisa is also friends with Heather. Like they've been friends for a very long time, and these shows do make you closer. So it's like I feel like for her to want,
but they've been friends.
Side,
they've been friends, and Heather has been the first to like go after Lisa, call her out, call her a liar. Like they weren't like consistent. Like they weren't Meredith and Lisa.
Yeah.
So even though Meredith and Lisa went through a bump, like they weren't like that. They started the season terrible. They've had seasons that were terrible, and Lisa knows what she's doing, and it's messy.
Yeah, Bronwyn definitely goes like, listen, you're being a bad friend and there's a double standard and that's how I feel. And like she's a very good communicator. She knows how to articulate.
Oh my gosh. She reminds me of Ashley from Potomac.
Yes. She's a very good communicator. So it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But the one thing is like, okay, like she storms off, Whitney follows her, and like Whitney is also friends with Heather and is like not taking like, the sides. Like, I don't know why they're holding Lisa to the cross 100% for this. Lisa's not saying like Heather's 100% right. Lisa's just hearing out Heather.
Yeah.
So like, it just felt weird to me. And then also on the after show, Heather was saying, she's like, listen, like, we're just as friends like than you are. Like, Heather wasn't understanding it, of course, obviously. So it was weird. Okay, so we get to this like Todd being crazy.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
This is an eye of pavor.
I covered my eyes.
Todd comes in blazing. He's scolding his daughter, in my opinion, and says, I told you I'm not dealing with this. And she's like, I know, with her head down, and says, I'm gonna kick them out. And he said he's gonna kick them out. And that is so classless to me. It's like, you don't go in somewhere and saying like, if enough is enough. So he literally goes to John. Okay.
I died. Oh my God.
And basically was like, if Lisa does not get it together, I need you guys out. Like, I'm not having this. And John's like, okay, I'll talk to her.
John looked shook too. It's not like, if that was Justin, if that was anyone else, like John would respond and he was like, okay, yeah, got it. Okay, yep, yes, sir.
We see him go to Lisa, like, and kind of say what was about to be said, but then it leaves us with a to be continued. Okay, so this is where it gets really funny, is the after show. Bronwyn admits that like if someone did that to her husband, her husband would be like, we're going. Like that would be my husband. My husband would be so embarrassed. Like,
my husband would literally be like, get your bags, we're going. No man is ever going to disrespect me and do what he just did. Let's go.
Yeah, it was really funny. Also, Miriam was like, this is the first time I see that, like Todd actually loves them, because she's like, they're always just throwing jabs at each other. So it's like funny how Miri's a big observer, and like we didn't see her this much in this episode. So like to hear her take was good. And this is where it gets really interesting, is Bronwyn on the after show said that she only believes Todd in the story. And she said that Todd told her that when he went over to John and them, he didn't tell John and them that they had to leave. He said that John asked, do you want us to leave? And isn't that weird? Because that's not what we see. So unless they're cutting it off, but like that's what the story Bronwyn is going with, is that Todd did not ask them to leave.
I mean, at the end of the day, all that we know is the evidence that's in front of us. What we see is him literally saying, you guys will have to leave. So I don't believe that. Not at all. And I thought it was such an uncomfortable moment. Again, I get guys like that, because I get that people are like, this is uncomfortable. Like, I'm just trying to have fun, but you're also on the Real Housewives. So, I mean,
that's what like Lisa said on the after show. She's like, it's like you telling me not to drink Diet Coke, like is asking us ladies not to fight. Like, that's silly. You're on a show.
Right.
And then Bronwyn does throw a lot of shading. Like, and she goes, Lisa wanted her free trip. So she's going to act right. So apparently to me, probably like Lisa does act better and they don't leave. But like for her to say that's like, you guys, again, these girls get free trips no matter what. So shut up. They're not getting a trip because of you.
Right.
Like, yeah, this is your place and maybe they got a better like luxury experience, but it's like, it's not only because of you.
I agree.
But yeah, that was Salt Lake City, guys.
Wow. Good job. Yeah, I think Salt Lake City is really good. We kind of have given up on New York, though. I'm not going to lie.
Nope, not doing it.
Yeah, just way too overproduced. I'm excited to talk about Orange County, you guys. I'm super excited to talk about it. First up, I want to start off by saying the disrespect with Bravo putting Jen on the third seat when she carried the season is wild to me.
100%.
I don't get that. I don't get how Gina is sitting ahead of her. That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. What did you think about the looks? Like, we always talk about the looks. What did you think?
I liked all their look. I didn't like Emily's look. I'm going to be honest.
Me either. And like, she looked pretty, but like, something didn't go. Like, it's like too much hair. I don't know. Something didn't go.
I didn't like Tamra's look either. I feel like, oh, you liked it.
Oh my God, I'm screenshotting her hair, you guys. And like, you guys know, I can't stand Tamra. Like, we're going to talk more about it, but I screenshotted her hair. I loved her hair. Like, I want to do that for a wedding. And I loved her jewelry. Like, it was just very like, subtle. It's like, I think she did a good job for herself. Like, she came in like looking classy.
I don't know. I just felt like it just like it didn't give off reunion. It gave off Watch What Happens Live, the dress. And
I always do feel though, like OC is always way more chill at the reunions compared to every other like franchise.
I remember her pink dress from last season. I like that. But with Tamra, I feel like what had happened is a lot of people came for her, which this is shitty. I feel like Tamra has taken a lot of feedback on her
looks.
Yeah, her
arms
older. So yeah, so she did all this face stuff. And then the arm thing, a lot of people came and said her arms look older than her face. And so now she's covering it up. And that kind of sucks. So that she's doing that and she's listening to that, because we're all going to age. We're all going to have arms that look like that. It's, it is what it is. But I mean, I get it. But she does seem like she's a little bit more conservative in covering now her boobs and her arms. She's been picking that even on Watch What Happens Live, long sleeve. So I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was it was like reunion look.
Okay. Gina finally looked good.
Gina looked really good. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, she finally looked good. Yeah. And then Heather looked so boring. And
she didn't land, you guys.
Yeah. And she usually kind of always does where she doesn't go ever outside, but it's sometimes she does something cool with her hair, or, she comes something fun with that. And she just looked very boring. And then Jen looked great. I thought Jen looked great. And so I thought Katie looked great too. She looked good.
I liked Katie's hair a lot. To me, the one who looked the best was Shannon.
Oh, really? I didn't think so.
I thought she looked so good. I thought her boobs were up and her dress was like this little petite little dress. She looked I don't know. And I thought her hair looked beautiful. I thought she looked the best.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what their theme was. I'm very curious because usually they get a theme. So I'm like wondering what their theme was.
I feel like it was like sunset. It was like sunset's theme. Like that's why they were wearing like oranges and red, and like there was a sunset behind them. Like they were all wearing a sunset theme, and then Shannon came out with like red or white.
Yeah. So it's so funny because like the beginning of the episode, Andy brings up how Tamra's seeing a therapist and she's like all shocked, acting shocked that Andy would bring it up. And it's like, you intentionally told Andy that so that he would bring up that you're seeing a therapist. Like,
and you went on your podcast like 2 weeks later and said you're seeing a therapist. So like, stop it.
Stop. Yeah. So Shannon says that she too is seeing a therapist and she has figured out boundaries, and being in a toxic relationship is not one she's willing to do anymore, throwing shade at Tamra. And then Tamra's like, are you saying our whole friendship was toxic? Like, sis, you literally said that, Tamra. You spent a whole season saying your guys' whole entire relationship is toxic and you want nothing to do with it. And now Shannon's saying it and you're like, so are you saying this was like a lie of a friendship? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then even when Shannon would call, like she constantly, Tamra was like, every time she calls, like my husband says, just get off the phone with her. Just get off the phone with her. It's so toxic. And it's like, God, you are just like, don't switch up now because it doesn't make sense, you know?
I'm happy Shannon was holding her accountable and she was calling her out. So like, I was happy to see that.
Yeah. And again, you guys, this is one of the most important things to note about Orange County. Tamra has admitted time and time again that she went into this season thinking that everyone was going to hate Shannon, the audience. And that is why she went below the belt with Shannon. So Tamra is the type who takes pride in kicking you while you're down. So in her mind, she thought everyone's going to hate Shannon. So I'm going to be extra vicious with her because I know the viewers will be too. That's the kind of evil Tamra is. That's not a friend. That's not a good person. That's someone who has been in a toxic friendship, and it's because of you at the end of the day, not because of Shannon calling you.
100%. I mean, I do think that there probably was like, you know, on both ends, but like the demise of the friendship comes from Tamra 100%.
But Chantel, imagine right now, like you go into the season go into your job thinking like everyone's going to hate you. And so you're going out of your way to be the biggest.
No, I know. No,
the audience is going to agree with you. Like that's all you've sold your soul to this show. You've sold your soul to fame.
No, for sure. Like, that's why I say, like, the demise and, like, the reason that friendship ended is because of Tamra, because what she did and, like, showed her true colors.
Yeah. Jen tells Emily she wants to be able to move forward with Emily, and Emily is like, I don't see the issue. And it's like, girl, you've been shitting on Ryan's life every confessional. No one cares if you're an attorney. There's clearly an issue. You are clearly triggered by Jen's life.
And all the little like smirks that even Tamra was doing, Emily was doing you guys, I wanted to go into that screen and go crazy.
I wrote Tamra nodding her head when a viewer calls out for Gina showing compassion towards Shannon after she got a DUI. It's like, thank you for showing that you're all full of shit. You will never change, period. You're not like sad about this relationship with Shannon because you're mad that Gina wasn't a bitch to her about it.
Exactly.
And Gina went through it. She doesn't want to kick someone while they're down. It's like either you could do that or you could just be better. And in that situation, Gina was better.
Yeah, Gina surprises me because like she can be like that and she does do that. But then like she always has another side where she like
she's so annoying.
Yeah, so she's so hard to read for me, like, or so hard for me to like her because I like her like case by case scenarios because like they don't make sense. Her character doesn't add up for me when it comes to Gina.
They asked Tamra why she continued to berate they asked Tamra why she continued to berate Shannon. And she's like, I knew it's the one thing that would make her upset. And it's like, why at almost 6 years old is your mission to make someone's life miserable and to make their life to make them upset? I don't get that. Why?
Yeah, me either.
Andy asked Heather about Shannon, and Shannon says that she has a real issue with Heather, that she was vulnerable with her, open up to her. And then Heather acted so shocked, which was confusing since we found out Tamra did tell her about that photo. Heather said she never saw that photo before. We all know that Tamra is dirty and would show Heather that photo. She's just that type of person. But Heather's being loyal to Tamra, which is fine. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. I'm so disappointed in it, but it is what it is. But I do appreciate Heather apologizing and owning and saying, don't tell me if you aren't comfortable telling me things, but like, let's just like move forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you believe that Tamra doesn't know Travis's ex-wife's name?
Absolutely not. Like that is the biggest lie. Like the biggest lie. You guys are all motherfucking investigators. You've talked to her.
Yeah.
There's no way you don't know her name. And there's no way if this ex is as crazy as they claim to be, she's been in everyone's DMs probably.
Right. Shannon, and even Shannon was like, you know it, but okay. And I was like, yeah. How about when Tamra like is trying to apologize and then she's like, you know, sorry, like she says that, like, why am I saying sorry? Sorry about what? And it's like she will just never change. Like she doesn't get it. Like all this hate. This is the most amount of hate I've seen on someone, and she still doesn't get it, which I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I know. And like you clearly can tell she's only saying sorry because like we've talked about, like to move forward with the show, they know that if they don't like, you know, at least leave it cordial and leave it okay, that's a problem for Bravo. So like she literally is just doing what she thinks that she needs to do.
Let's talk the Katie stuff for a minute. So Gina brings up how Katie reached out to her as a realtor, and then they found out that Katie doesn't actually own her home. And it's like, who effing cares? She explains why. And of course, Emily chimes in, and the two of them team up to go after the newbie. It's a classic move. Their goal here was like, how can we make Katie look to be a liar? But I feel like I want to point this out that Gina's a shitty realtor. She always talks about when people reach out to her, and it's like you're lucky they're even going through you. You're like an amateur. There's a million other people who would be happy to sign other clients. And she's constantly talking about their like home financial situation.
Yeah. Like, you make people feel like shit or try to. It's like, who would want that? Like it's like, we need to like have Gina sign NDAs or something for people because she like gets like the gossip and the dirt from their houses. And it's like, hey, no.
Exactly. And then talks about it with her friends. So, I mean, I don't know anyone with a brain who would ever use Gina as a realtor. And then Gina was like to Katie, you make me uncomfortable. And I'm looking at Emily and I'm like, Emily makes everybody uncomfortable. So I don't know. Heather brings up how Sutton went to her and like said that Katie used her, and Sutton was dirty for going to Heather. I don't know. And sending that text. Don't you think?
Yeah. I'm not a Sutton fan. Never is a Sutton fan. So like Kay, like that's just Sutton and her personality. She's annoying to me. And the whole situation of them, like it's like they, you know, like in New Jersey, how like they all went to Margaret's house and like was like, what are we gonna do to bring up stuff on Louis? It's like that's what they did with Katie, and it's really weird because it's her first season. So it's like, why is she affecting you guys that much? Like, why is it? Yeah, so it's like they all sat down, they all like were, and like we'll get to the story, I guess, like of the car accident and stuff. Half the things that they brought up, I had no idea. And like, of course,
oh my god, I said that. I said that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was curious if you knew because you're the blogger. Did you ever blog that? Like, no, where the hell are you guys getting info? I will say I know that people will probably get into their DMs, but like the fact that they went so hard and like kept like they had story after story and like none of the stories landed, in my opinion, to make her prove like a liar. So it's like, good luck. It's like, you guys look stupid.
You know what I found interesting is the Heather, is talking to Emily. Okay, so here's what she's talking to. Heather's talking to Katie, and she is asking Katie a question. My friend Mary mentioned this too. So she's sitting there asking Katie a question, and every time Katie tries to answer, they are mad that she is answering a question and is calling her a liar for it. And I'm like, when you ask someone a question, they're going to have an answer. How does that make them a liar? I'm confused here. And then with Heather saying, I'm still speaking, I'm not finished. And I'm like, and then Tamra and Emily laughing on the side, like, I'm like, I can't. Someone hold me back. Someone hold me back right now. It's like they're laughing like the big bad bullies, and I'm just like, you guys are so gross. You would think that Tamra would come into the season being a little bit nicer, but zero growth, and this part just tells you that. And it's like, someone please get Emily off my screen. And Tamra kept laughing. She kept laughing as Heather goes in.
I really hope Katie can come back so that like, she proves I'm like wrong in the sense of like, you guys don't get to treat me like this. And then like, you think that I'm going to get off the show, like, so like, I really hope that she has, and I think she has enough of a storyline, her personal life herself, that we all find interesting, so it's like, and she still has friendships, but it's like, it was just really gross. It was really, 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 really gross.
It's so interesting because Tamra like laughing while someone is getting attacked is interesting because this is the same Tamra who said there should be laws because she's getting so much hate on social media and it's not right. But when someone else is targeted, who she's cool with, by the way, she just sits and laughs in their face.
Yeah.
And now bringing up an interaction Katie had with a man that went to prison is definitely giving the Real Housewives of New Jersey, which Emily said that she didn't want Orange County to be like New Jersey, but that's exactly what they did when they found the story. And then Katie talking about the story with this man yelling at her. It involves her young kids. And Heather says, police don't lie. Their report is completely different. And I was just like, this is like such an out of touch thing to say.
Yeah, it's like tone deaf because it's like, what? Police don't lie. Like, are you okay? Like, I mean, we love, of course, like I'm not for let's defund the police. Like we love police authority, but like for you to say that like police don't like say the truth and stuff like that, like there's always bad people in every situation.
Yeah. What's wild is Emily saying that she's working with the Innocence Project while that side is literally taunting Katie and accusing her of lying, not even allowing her to explain without cutting her off, and then saying that police don't lie, like you're lying. And I'm like, but Emily, that doesn't add up with what you're allegedly doing. I don't think Emily is practicing right now at all, but I know we saw a little scene of that, and that goes against what she's preaching on the show.
Yeah, exactly. And like for them to know the story was just so weird to me. It's so
you
weird
guys, Katie was literally homeless, trying to figure out her life for her kids too. And this really pissed me off because Emily is so judgmental. It's actually gross. We find out, they bring up how Katie didn't have custody of her kids. And clearly there's something really, intense that has gone on with her ex-husband. And for them to bring up this story and think that it would land is fucking weird because none of this land. And they're like, why didn't you have custody of your children? You know how hard it is in California to have custody of your children, to not have custody of your children? You must have done something horrific. And she was like, dude, I was homeless trying to figure out my life. I was a wife. Like I didn't have a job and I was trying to figure out my life. And then Emily continues to, question every single moment and make her feel like crap about what happened and the fact that there was a moment that she didn't have custody of her kids. And I was like, that is so disgusting. The fact that they're saying this and they're saying this is all out there. We're not digging, because Andy at one point is like, it's so funny. Like you literally said, you're not, Heather, you're above digging on people's life. And here you guys are digging. They're like, it's everywhere. You guys, I blog and I've not seen any of these stories. I had no idea. Of this stuff.
What I don't understand is what they were trying to prove. Like Katie has a past. Like she's never once came out and made it seem like she's this perfect angel. Maybe they are jealous because they feel like she has a perfect life. I don't really know. But she's never came out and said like, I've had a smooth sailing life. Like clearly she has hardship, and we haven't even heard of half of these things because it's only been one season. Like you get to know someone the more it goes on, and like that's a touchy subject for her. And I felt so bad for her in that moment because they were like berating her.
Yeah. I wish, it's funny because like once they wrap up and they go on break, Heather all of a sudden
sit your ass down, like sit your ass down.
Up to her and she says like, I'm sorry, like about the children stuff, and she didn't want to go there or whatever. But it's like, why wouldn't you say that in the moment when Katie's crying?
Yeah, why aren't you saying like, hey, let's not talk about you losing your kids at one point and like having to fight to bring them back. Let's not talk about that right now.
I'm not understanding, by the way. So yeah, that was like a whole a shit show, and they are so wrong for that. And Bravo better bring Katie back after them like bringing this all up to the world, like they owe her. And like let's move over to the Jen stuff. We barely hear from Jen except the last 5 minutes because again, like they save the best for last, and Jen carried the season. No, not like unclear why she's third row, or third seat. But they bring up the whole situation about the Ryan stuff. And I'm not understanding why people or why the Housewives thought that Jen would consider breaking off her engagement over this. I'm still so fucking confused about it.
I agree, but like remember we talked about like the way that they filmed that like last 2 weeks thing was like very weird. It's like they almost like were wanting the viewers.
But she explained it, and
yeah, I know.
She said the reason that I said that was because if it wasn't for me being on the show, they would never have mentioned Ryan's name. There's obviously other names. Ryan is on a television show. Of course, they're going to mention him. But they talk about the Ryan situation. Emily inserts herself like everything she's saying is matter of fact because she's an attorney who doesn't practice. Jen says that, she felt bad because had she not joined the show, Ryan wouldn't be mentioned. He did receive immunity, so they would never mention a random guy had it not been for the show. And then Emily keep inserting herself, volunteering to explain the situation. Like we all can read, Emily. We don't need
Emily's obsessed. Emily's giving obsessed over here.
Yeah. Or she's giving like, I have nothing going on in my life. So I really need to meddle in everyone else's life. And Gina's like, we're really worried about you. And it's like, worry about you and Travis and his ex-wife. Don't worry about Jen and Ron. And they're clearly good. You have quite the situation going on. We're nervous for you. Like she kept saying, I'm just nervous for you. Like I know Jen said that she'd want all of them at her wedding. Jen, can we come to your wedding? But I know that she said like we'd want all of them at her wedding. I don't think that she should invite all of them. I would never want like negative people who question my relationship at my wedding.
100%.
Andy was even getting frustrated with Emily at one point. Andy is like, look, Ryan's not being charged with anything. And then Shannon comes for, Jen's defense and is like, if she's saying Ryan has no part of it and that his name was just linked to an account, let it go. And Emily's like, well, that's opposite of what I read. And Jen's like, I read your in-laws fund your whole life. And I was like,
she ate there.
Clocked it,
literally, like she left no crumbs. Like, and like Emily like was shook. Like she kind of looked and was like, whoa.
She didn't say anything. I don't think she processed what was said.
Yeah, well, she should, because like don't come after me and like feel like I'm just gonna be this little girl that's gonna be nice. Like she comes and she comes hard and it's amazing because it's worth it. It's like it's like kind of like a Teresa where like Teresa attacks only when she's attacked first, and like that's like kind of how Jen is. Like she attacks them when they attack her all day.
Yeah, exactly.
A girl can only handle so much.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see part 2 though. So I thought.
Is there 3 parts or just 2?
3.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. So I'm definitely very excited to.
Yeah, this reunion is giving. So
yeah, it is. But Chantel is off to live her best life in California. So Chantel, have so much fun. We'll let you go. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Be sure to write a nice review and join our Patreon where we have 2 additional episodes and ad-free episodes. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.